Hi there guys, Al here, Grumpy Grognard Gaming, with another episode of Where Next to Conquer, which is all about offering alternatives to Games Workshop and the Warhammer hobby. Today, I'm going to have a look at Xenogenesis. Now, we became aware of this game quite some time ago. Matt applied to be a playtester. We get the test STLs and a test copy of the game basically. We never heard anything back, unfortunately, despite me interviewing Andy Chambers in the past. We're probably just not a big enough channel yet, but we are getting there, and thank you very much for that. Now that it's on GameFound, it is time to have a look at this mech suit based game. Xenogenesis is very cinematic. I've looked at the rules that are available on their website. They're about 80% complete, and I've looked at the lore. Andy Chambers has developed here a game based around alternate actions that are designed for you to be able to do more or less whatever you want. It's a very cinematic game. Kind of reminds me of Inquisitor, the old Games Workshop game, in many ways, in that you get an action and you can do stuff, and then you can react to other people's actions if you've saved the actions. There's a lot going on. So let's have a quick look into it. The main pledge is the Battle for Sabre Ridge. It's a core game, $150. Not quite sure why it's showing me in dollars. Why can you not show me in pounds? Sterling. Delivery to United Kingdom. Ah, here we go. Pound sterling. That's yeah. So 21 days left, plenty of time. There you go, 114 quid. That's actually better than I thought it'd be for $150. Clearly the dollar's not doing so well against the pound at the moment. Plus your VAT, plus your shipping, you're probably looking at 150 quid on it. So this is your main box set. Hopefully it'll be covered down below. This is the one that I wanted to pick up on because it does say in here somewhere. That's the pledges, that's right. Let's go look at the project. Yeah, so it does say here, there's a little bit of your lore. Basically, it's like there's the barrier around the human colonies and stuff like that. They can't breach, and they're all fighting in the middle of it. There was a way of sort of going through systems, and now you can't. So it's basically, you've got heliospheres, which are kind of like star systems. So here's the box game. They're doing digital translations. They're not doing physical translations of different languages. It's made in the US, despite having British talent behind it and pedigree. The models, not really working for me. I might need to have a better look at them. They don't really offer you what I think they need to model preview-wise here. There are a couple at the top here. So you can see this one. This one's been painted by Jamie Daggers. Yeah, the models, they look like tiny models that have been scaled up and lack detail. This one by Pandemonium is a bit better. Matt Parks, quite a famous name there. Winner of multiple Golden Demons. And I think he sculpted for GW a little while. Again, I think it's the Inquisitor game that he did a few bits. And Jewel Knight Jess. Why is it girls always paint in purple or pink? Yeah, I'm not blown away by the models, but it looks all right. It looks all right. Anyway, let's get on with it. So yeah, scalable skirmish, play from 1 to 4 Zeo units per side. This is a unit, this is a unit, it's like a squad. It's basically a big dude and then some small dudes to go with it. It's got, 3D print options, but it is in hard plastic. We'll have more to say about that in a minute. Andy Chambers, Gav Thorpe, Dan Morrison, and Gley Herb. So this is your main box. That's what you're getting. As I say, the models aren't really doing much for me, but tastes will vary. 144-page core rulebook and a 32-page quick start guide, always welcome, and some buildings as well. So you've got some scenery to play amongst. This looks like the kind of stuff you get from TT Combat for their games like Carnivale and Drop Zone Commander. Here's your minis. As you say, they go from quite large to large-ish to 32 mil. Seems to be roughly where they're aiming. I'm not sure if given detail on the models, I might have dropped that down a little bit to 28, but maybe 32 is just the standard these days with GW. I mean, bigger models, more value, right? There's your shipping. Not too bad. 30 quid if you go in all physical. Has quite a lot of boxes. Obviously, it gets a little bit naughty if you're in these brackets, but for most people, you know, you're going to be here. It's not going to be too bad. Even though it says friendly shipping, you know, thanks to Brexit, you will be paying VAT in UK to add 20% onto basically everything. So yeah, $150 or £114.66 for your core games. It's not too bad. It's a chunk cheaper than GW. This, I think, could do with more information. It looks like you only get like one STL and your book at first look for like 50 quid. That's not the case. If we click into it, you'll see you basically choose one of these. So it's 50 quid for a rulebook and a physical one at that, and a full team. It's just where they've used unit and one picture, it doesn't look so good. Or two, you know, for 68, or all four for 107. I will say that, unfortunately, like Trench Crusade, these are probably going to flood the you can get these STLs without paying them sphere. So they're just going to have to deal with that. They've done physical models in the core game, and I think that was a smart move. 206 for the core game and 2 boxes. So the boxes are like 50 quid each, or 286 for all 4. Presumably there's add-ons. They've got some stretch goals they're going through. Looks like it's just 2. 500 backers gets your campaign rules out of this core game. There's your free one if you back it. Yeah, 45 quid a box. So, you know, sort of comparable with GW for quite a lot of stuff. As it said, these models are the sort of larger ones. I think it said this one was like 85 mil, these are like 60 odd mil. Let's have a quick look and see if we've got any better pictures than the models. It looks like that cheap plastic to me. You know, the stuff that kind of cuts up if you try and file it. So you need to cut the detail off. Might not be. I've not got any in hand. As I say, we weren't a big enough channel to be worthy of their program, unfortunately. But the models are the weak point. Just for me, you know, some people are like, oh, I don't care about the models, I just want to play the game. For me, it's the models. You know, if I don't like the way the models look, I'm not going to want to paint them. And these look very, very basic. I mean, honestly, these remind me of the Space Crusade models. There is not a lot of detail going on here for the scale at all. Talk about STLs, I think somebody can sculpt something better than that very, very easily. So I don't like either of those two. They're a bit better, but again, still very low in the detail. Very low. Don't think GW are too bothered about that. But you can always proxy stuff, I suppose. I don't have anything I can proxy it with. Battletech won't work, and my Gundam are slightly too large. And don't forget, the Gundam game is coming out next year, so it's a good thing these guys are best hobby are getting ahead of the curve kind of thing. But yeah, these models just really aren't anything special at all. Very basic. Very, very basic. I'll leave it up to you whether you think they're worth 50 quid or not. Art book, just a PDF, 15 quid. Scenery, £22. Slip runners, physical. Oh, it's another game. Ship racing mini game set in the universe. Cool. Physical and PDF, that's cool. And here's your individual prices for STLs. And they're pretty good. I mean, especially when you compare it to something like Trench Crusade, which has much nicer models. I think, you know, 20 quid and you print that off, I think you're happier with that, basically. You know, I wouldn't lump for the plastics at all. Maybe it looks better with printed, I don't know. But yeah, scalable service game. Basically, a unit is a couple of Zeo forms, which are your suits, accompanied by 3 to 5 supports, which are your little dudes, up to 4 units a side. So like 30 odd games. 30 odd models. Yeah, multiple actions such as move, shoot, in all order, multiple decisive play. I've had a look at the rulebook, it's good. Hopefully got a link. Oh yeah, they have got a link here, look. So you can go and have a look at the rules. About 8% complete, as I say. We wanted to get onto their official playtest group, but Matt didn't hear anything back. We were also going to have a word with Andy and Gav about it, but every time we approached, they were like, no, it's not ready yet, wait. And I appreciate the fact they've done that, because I think this all comes, I think the digital side of it comes in like towards July, and the box game is December. Yeah, December for the box game, July for the STLs and stuff. So you're not going to have a long wait. They've waited till it's ready to go, and I appreciate that. You're not going to be waiting years for this going, oh, you know, have I lost my money, stuff like that. And the really cool thing about Game Found is you can pay in installments as well. So, yeah, you got your stuff all there and everything. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, check it out, guys. See what you think. It fills a gap in the market that I think is definitely there. I am let down by the models, personally. I don't think they look that great. I don't even think that the painted versions by these professional painters look that great. I think they look very crude, very low detail. I mean, Jess has done what she can with it here, but just, yeah, I'm not... Maybe they're going for that second edition look, but they just look very low detail to me. They don't look too bad, I suppose. Not quite working for me, especially with these things. I mean, these just look like small models scaled up, if you know what I mean. They just don't look good. They don't look good. In my opinion, as I say, other people might think that this looks absolutely great. And if so, go jump in there and back, like these people have. Still 3 weeks to go. There'll probably still be 19 days to go by the time I get this video done. And yeah, as always, guys, let me know what you think. I can assure you the rules by Andy are pretty great. The lore, I'm not looking too deeply, but it looks interesting. It's the models that's a letdown for me on this one. And that's why, if I back it, I think I'll just be in at the rule book and a set of the STLs, if I can find a set that I think look good. Because I think that's not too bad for 50 quid, especially when you get, as I say, not just one model, but, you know, you get to choose a squad. And certainly I think this carousel should be here to make it clear that you get more stuff. Because if you haven't read that a unit is more of that, then you might not know. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I'll be back with another Where Next to Conquer soon. Bye.